Rain patters against the mullioned windows of the Vance estate, soft as whispered judgment. A fire burns too bright for the room's chill. Arthur Bellamy, the lawyer, adjusts his glasses. His tone is ceremonial, detached. Around him sit ghosts that breathe. Eleanor Vance, regal in a black silk blouse. James, smirking behind his tumbler of bourbon. Margot, poised like a dagger disguised as civility. And then Clara, the estranged granddaughter, damp hair, thrift store coat, face unreadable. Arthur's voice cuts through the crackle of fire. To my granddaughter, Clara Vance, I leave $1. Laughter breaks like glass. James leans back, triumphant. Margot's lips curl into pity, disguised as charm. Eleanor stares at Clara, unreadable. But Clara doesn't flinch. She takes the dollar, creases it between trembling fingers, and whispers, "That's enough." A silence follows that even the storm hesitates to disturb. Arthur clears his throat, reading the next line. The clause no one expects. This dollar shall activate the fulfillment of the private trust codicil. Dated March 4th, 1987. The laughter fades. Eleanor's eyes flash. Somewhere in the walls, the pipes moan, as if the house itself remembers. In the hallway after the reading, silence expands like a wound. James mutters something about lawyer games. Margot scrolls her phone for control she can't find. Eleanor watches Clara approach the staircase. "He never forgave you," she whispers. Clara's reply, quiet, edged. "Maybe he shouldn't have." The storm outside turns the windows into mirrors. For a heartbeat, Clara sees Harold's reflection behind her. Then it's gone. Clara enters the portrait room. Ancestral faces staring down like judges. The portrait of Harold dominates the wall, eyes painted too alive. She stands beneath it, the dollar in her hand. "What did you want me to find?" she whispers. A faint click behind the frame answers, a sound too deliberate to be the house settling. Eleanor retreats to her vanity, removing her pearls with shaking hands. Her reflection multiplies in mirrored panels, each one showing a different version of guilt. "You said you'd keep it buried," she murmurs, addressing the empty air. A voice, her own or memory's echo, answers, "He didn't trust any of us." Arthur remains alone in the study, rereading the clause. His brow furrows. He whispers the words again. Activation upon acceptance. A legal phrase, but beneath it, a code. He looks toward the locked drawer marked Private Trust. 1987. The storm swells as he reaches for the key. Arthur's hand trembles as the key turns. Inside the drawer, an envelope sealed with crimson wax, stamped with Harold Vance's crest. A raven over water. Beside it lies an old cassette tape labeled Private Testament. Arthur exhales, whispers, "You never could let things go, Harold." The house creaks, as if in response. He presses play. Harold's voice fills the room, rasped with age but sharpened by intention. "To those who hear this, you mocked my granddaughter for her dollar, but you will soon understand it is not money that measures worth." Arthur freezes as the tape continues. "Only she can open what I have locked away." That night, Clara sleeps in her old childhood room, unchanged since her exile. The wallpaper, soft lilac once, now peels like forgotten skin. Rain has softened to mist outside. She dreams of her grandfather standing at the lake's edge, whispering her name through the fog. "The dollar opens the door," he says. In the dream, the lake ripples with golden light, and when she reaches out, the water burns her reflection. Morning. The storm has passed, but the air hums with residue. Clara follows the house hum, up the grand staircase to the attic door, long nailed shut. Each step echoes hollow, as if the house holds its breath. She prees the boards loose. Dust blooms in golden rays. Inside, trunks stacked like graves. On one sits a small wooden box engraved, with the same raven crest as her dollar. She places the bill into the groove atop the lid. A soft click. The box opens by itself. In the morning parlor, Eleanor meets Arthur. Her composure is cracked. "You should have burned that tape," she says. Arthur's eyes narrow and erase Harold's justice. Eleanor scoffs. "Justice? He's punishing us from the grave." Her voice falters, then softer. "He warned me. He said if Clara ever came back." Arthur interrupts. "Then perhaps it's time she knows why she left." Eleanor's lips tremble. "No, not that truth." Clara, heart racing, lifts the attic floorboard beneath the box. Below lies a narrow staircase spiraling downward into a chamber older than the house above. She holds her phone's flashlight over the descent. Carved into the stone arch, for the heir who was forgotten. The wind outside begins again, though the windows are closed. She descends, step by careful step. In the dark, a faint hum greets her, the same sound from her dream. The narrow stairwell opens into a stone chamber lined with shelves of ledgers and family records. In the center, an antique iron safe. Its surface is etched with the Vance crest and a single slot shaped exactly for a folded dollar bill. Clara exhales, places the bill in. The mechanism groans awake. The safe opens to reveal another envelope, yellowed and bound with twine. Harold's handwriting. Inside, a second will. The ink trembles with time. To Clara Vance it reads, "I leave what was stolen from me. The truth of this house." Her breath catches. Beneath the paper, she finds photographs. Her mother, young, standing with a man not her father. The date, March 4th, 1987. Clara spreads the photos across the floor. Her mother, radiant, defiant. Beside her, Harold, smiling like a man newly alive. But in the last photograph, Eleanor stands in the background, her face half hidden, watching. Clara whispers, "You knew." Thunder rumbles again, though the sky outside is clear. Dust falls from the ceiling as if the house itself sighs under the weight of revelation. Clara storms into the parlor, photos in hand. Eleanor rises from her chair, eyes widening. "Where did you find those?" Clara's voice cuts like glass. "Under the floorboards you nailed shut." Eleanor hesitates. Then, "He made a mistake, Clara. He loved too easily, and your mother, she ruined everything." Clara's jaw tightens. "You ruined her." Arthur enters mid-silence, the tape recorder still in his coat. "It's time you all hear what Harold left unsaid." Arthur presses play. Harold's voice, grainy but clear. "If they laugh at her dollar, let them choke on their inheritance. Everything, this house, the trust, the land, reverts to Clara once she reclaims what they buried." Eleanor grips the armrest, color draining. James bursts in, disheveled. "You can't do this! You'll bankrupt us." The voice on tape continues, colder now. "Only the one who carries the dollar in good faith may remain within the house." The lights flicker. The fire dies without smoke. A deep vibration runs through the floorboards. Books slide from shelves. The portrait of Harold tilts on the wall, eyes seeming to follow Clara. The air thickens, smelling of iron and rain. From the upper floors, doors slam one by one, echoing like heartbeats. Clara stands her ground. "You hear that?" she says quietly. He's not done yet. Lightning splits the sky outside, though the storm has never returned. The night has no right to storm again, yet thunder growls like memory rekindled. Rain pelts the windows, though Clara swears she saw stars an hour ago. The air thickens with a metallic tang, wet wood and regret. James paces the parlor, veins pulsing in his temple. "You don't get it, Clara," he spits. That clause is a bluff. Harold was senile. Arthur, seated by the dead fireplace, mutters, "Senile men don't write codicils that open safes." Eleanor's fingers tremble as she lights another candle, voice shaking. "The will won't be legal." Clara stands by the window, reflection fractured by lightning. He didn't care about legal. He cared about truth. The chandelier sways gently above them. For a moment, everyone freezes. A low hum, like the house breathing. The candle flame elongates, bending toward Clara. She turns to face the others, whispering, "He's listening." Margot had left the room earlier, but the sound of breaking glass calls the others to the hall. They find her near the grand staircase, holding a cracked picture frame. "It fell," she says, voice trembling, but the frame's back is marked. An old inscription. "For the one who knows the truth." Her eyes widen. "This was in my office once. How did it get here?" Clara approaches cautiously. "It didn't fall. It was placed." Margot laughs, brittle and desperate. "You think ghosts move picture frames?" Arthur answers softly. "Not ghosts. Guilt." She turns on him. "You all think Harold was some prophet. He was cruel." Her voice breaks as the chandelier above the stairwell flickers, then sparks. A shard of glass drops between them. The air shivers, electric. Margot steps back too far, heel slipping on marble, and catches herself at the last instant. She stares at Clara. "It's the dollar, isn't it? It's binding us to him." Later, in her candlelit room, Eleanor sits before the same mirror that once reflected elegance. Now it only returns her fear. Clara enters without knocking. "He built all of this for her," Eleanor murmurs. "Your mother. He loved her more than me, and when she left him for that man, he broke." Clara's voice trembles but holds steel beneath it. You sent her away." Eleanor's eyes flash wet. "He told me to protect the family's name. I thought I was saving us." "You were saving yourself?" Clara replies. Eleanor exhales, a sound like something inside her dying. "She didn't die in that car crash, Clara. She disappeared because I made sure she would never come back." Silence thickens. The candle sputters, flame warping sideways as if recoiling. Eleanor looks into the mirror again, sees Harold's reflection instead of her own. She whispers, "Forgive me," and the mirror fractures down its center. Arthur retreats to the study, the tape recorder still clutched like a relic. He rewinds, listening again and again to Harold's words. "Only the worthy may stay." His face hardens. He whispers, "You made me complicit, old man." He opens a locked drawer. Inside, another tape marked "Confidential." Bellamy agreement. His hand hovers. The truth inside could destroy what's left of the Vances and himself. He plays it. Harold's voice, colder this time. "Arthur, if you keep my secret, your family will live well. If you betray me, this curse binds you two." Arthur's breath catches. His daughter's photograph lies nearby. He slams the tape off, whispering, "I never betrayed you. You betrayed me." But the lights dim. The house answers with a deep moan from the foundation, like acknowledgement. Arthur's eyes fill with tears. "What do you want from me?" The chandelier above trembles, one bulb flickering out like a dying pulse. In the attic once more, Clara kneels before the now empty box. The dollar lies on the floor, its edges pulsing faintly as though alive. She hesitates, then picks it up. "What are you trying to tell me?" she whispers. The paper's surface warms in her palm, faint smoke curling from its edges. Footsteps behind her. James. His voice is ragged. "Give it to me. If you burn it, we lose everything." Clara doesn't move. Maybe that's what he wanted. He lunges. She turns. The dollar catches flame between them, burning bright white instead of orange. Both recoil as wind whirls through the attic, pages fluttering, beams groaning. When the light dies, the dollar is gone. But beneath their feet, the floorboards shift. A trapdoor creaks open, revealing another stairwell, deeper still. Clara looks down, terrified and certain. This is it, the real inheritance. The newly opened stairwell exhales air that smells of damp stone and rot. Clara stands at the threshold, phone flashlight trembling in her hand. James lingers behind her, sweat glistening along his temple. "You really think this leads to some treasure?" he mutters, voice cracking. Clara answers quietly, "Not treasure. Proof." They descend. The walls narrow, then widen again into a subterranean vault lined with ledgers, maps, and iron cabinets labeled by decade. In the center, a heavy table covered by a tarp. Clara pulls it away. Beneath, rows of deeds and letters, transactions spanning generations. At the bottom, a thick file labeled Vance Timber Company, Land Acquisition, 1987. She flips through pages, the truth unraveling. Her grandfather's empire was built on land stolen from her mother's family. "He hid everything," she whispers. James stares, stricken. So that's what this was about. He buried his guilt. Under our feet. Upstairs, Margot wanders the corridor like a ghost, muttering legal language under her breath. Beneficiary rights, probate clause, testamentary override. Her manic whispering echoes through the hall. The chandelier above her sways though there's no wind. "It's not real," she says, gripping her temples. "It can't be binding." She reaches the study, eyes falling on the tape recorder. Without hesitation, she presses play. Harold's voice fills the silence. "Only the one who carries truth without fear shall hold what remains." Margot screams, throws the recorder against the wall, shattering it. Arthur bursts in, panting. "Margot, stop." She turns on him, eyes glassy. "You all worshipped him. You never saw what he did to us. He made us into liars." Arthur's tone is low, broken. "Then tell the truth." She sinks to her knees, voice small. "I don't remember what it feels like." In her room, Eleanor finds an old ledger tucked behind the wardrobe, a matching copy to the documents below. She flips through trembling pages, every stolen tract, every payment signed E. Vance. Her breath catches. She wasn't only complicit, she was executor. Her eyes fill, but pride claws through tears. "He told me it was for the family," she whispers. "I believed him." Her reflection in the cracked mirror flickers. Harold's face overlays hers again, whispering, "You chose to believe." She drops the ledger. Pages scatter like dead leaves. The candlelight dims, then surges, igniting one corner of a fallen page. Eleanor watches it burn, numb. "Maybe this is mercy," she murmurs. Smoke curls upward, taking her confession with it. Clara and James reach the lowest chamber, a circular vault lined with symbols carved into the stone. In the center, a sealed glass case rests atop a pedestal. Inside, a single deed, embossed with Harold's signature, dated the same day Clara's mother disappeared. Clara presses her hand to the glass. It fogs instantly. "He left this for me," she whispers. James circles the pedestal. "This isn't inheritance, it's a curse." She glances up. Maybe both. The room hums faintly. The carvings along the wall seem to shimmer, revealing faint etchings of words. "Blood must know blood." James steps back. "What does that mean?" Clara looks at him, realization dawning slow and cold. "It means she's not gone." A low static fills the chamber. Clara turns, flashlight trembling. From a speaker embedded in the wall comes a faint, grainy recording. A woman's voice. "Clara," it says softly, trembling with warmth and sorrow. "If you're hearing this, I wanted to save you from his legacy, but you came back." Clara's knees buckle. "Mom," the voice continues, This house isn't ours. It was built from lies and stolen land. Harold couldn't undo it, but you can. Tears spill freely now. James shakes his head in disbelief. That's impossible. She's been dead 30 years. The voice grows faint. Burn the deeds. End it. Free us all. Silence follows, absolute and heavy. Clara looks at the documents in her hand, then toward the stone stairway rising into the house above. Then that's what I'll do. Clara ascends the stone stairway, clutching the folder of deeds against her chest. The house groans as if sensing her intention. Every step forward feels heavier, soaked in history's weight. When she emerges into the parlor, dawn has barely cracked the horizon. Light seeps through the lace curtains like mercy, trying to enter, but afraid to stay. Eleanor sits slumped on the settee, eyes hollow, a glass of water untouched. Arthur stands nearby, guilt carved into every line of his face. James paces like a trapped animal, fury keeping him upright. Margot hovers at the window, half mad and whispering. Clara drops the folder on the table. The sound is final. We built this life on lies, she says. All of us. But it ends today. James slams his palm against the table. You'll destroy everything he left. Clara meets his gaze, calm, resolute. He destroyed it first. The air shivers. Somewhere in the rafters, something cracks. The chandelier above them flickers, once, twice, and stays lit with unnatural steadiness. Clara walks to the fireplace, strikes a match. The flame trembles, then steadies in her hand. You heard her, she says quietly. My mother. She wanted this ended. She drops the match onto the pile of deeds. Paper curls instantly, blackening into smoke. James lunges, trying to snatch the burning pages, but Arthur blocks him. No, James. This is the only justice left. Margot sobs, covering her ears. Eleanor watches in silence, a strange peace softening her grief-hardened face. The flames roar higher, tongues of light licking the carved mantle. He'll kill us all for this, James shouts. But even as he speaks, the fire's heat feels cleansing rather than cruel. Clara whispers through the crackle. He's already dead. The flames devour faster than reason. The smoke curls upward into the old vents, awakening the house's brittle skeleton. Plaster cracks like bone. The portrait of Harold above the mantel warps, its varnish bubbling, the face seeming to melt into shadow. Arthur shouts for everyone to move, ushering Eleanor toward the door. Margot clings to the stair railing, choking on smoke, while James tries futilely to save the remaining ledgers. Clara stays still at the center of the parlor, hair wild in the heat wind, watching everything her bloodline built disintegrate into ash. The chandelier finally gives way, crashing to the floor behind her. A burst of light and sound like judgment pronounced. The house shudders one last time as though releasing its final breath. They spill out into the dawn-wet lawn. The lake beyond reflects a distorted sunrise, word, molten, alive. Smoke pours from the windows, carrying the scent of burned paper and memory. Fire engines wail in the distance, still miles away. Clara turns back, watching the roof buckle. Eleanor clutches her hand, the gesture surprisingly tender. He built this place to last forever, Eleanor murmurs. Clara nods. Nothing built on lies lasts. Margot collapses to her knees in the grass, sobbing. Arthur steadies her, his own face streaked with ash. James stands apart, staring in disbelief, as if the flames were rewriting the past in real time. The house finally gives a low groan and sinks inward, its structure folding like an exhausted heart. Hours later, when the fire dies, only embers remain, warm as breath, quiet as guilt forgiven. Clara walks among the ashes, soot clinging to her bare feet. Near what was once the fireplace, something glints amid the debris. She kneels and brushes away the ash. It's the dollar, unburned, edges intact, a faint imprint of Harold's crest glowing on its surface. She picks it up, staring at it for a long time. Then she folds it once, twice, and lets it drift into the lake. The paper catches a current and spins outward until it disappears beneath the surface. Arthur's voice breaks the silence. "What now?" Clara answers without turning. "We start honest. Or we start over." Behind her, the smoke rises straight into the pale sky, no longer heavy, but almost clean. By morning, the rain has ended for good. Mist rolls across the blackened grounds, carrying the faint scent of wet ash and lilac. The ruins of the Vance estate stand like a skeleton of memory, charred beams and collapsed chimneys pointing upward, as though in prayer. Clara sits by the lake, her hair damp, her clothes still streaked with soot. Every breath she takes feels earned. Eleanor joins her slowly, wrapped in a wool shawl, eyes red but steady. They don't speak for a while. The only sound is the lap of water against stone. Finally, Eleanor murmurs, "He would have hated the silence." Clara smiles faintly. "That's why I love it." The sunlight reaches the lake's surface, and for a fleeting second, the reflection of the house reappears. Whole ghostly, then gone. Both women see it. Neither reacts. The past, it seems, is courteous enough to say goodbye before it fades. Or no. Later that day, Arthur sits on the tailgate of a fire truck. The old tape recorder's shattered remains in his lap. A young firefighter hands him a blanket. He waves it off. Clara approaches, a thermos of coffee in hand. "You could have told me years ago," she says softly. Arthur exhales, eyes fixed on the lake. "I wanted to. But Harold made me swear. I thought protecting his reputation meant protecting you." Clara sits beside him. "You protected his fear." He nods, a tear cutting through the ash on his cheek. "I was a coward. You were human," she replies. "That's worse." Sometimes. He laughs, a tired, broken sound that somehow feels lighter. "So what now?" Clara gazes at the smoldering ruin. "Now we make sure no one forgets what the truth cost." Margot packs her car in silence. The estate's long driveway stretches ahead, framed by blackened trees and morning mist. Her movements are precise, almost ritualistic, folding clothes, zipping suitcases, closing the trunk as though sealing a confession. Clara appears at the gate. "You don't have to go," she says. Margot shrugs. "Maybe not, but I can't stay." She hesitates, eyes softening. "I used to think family meant winning. Maybe it just means surviving." Clara steps closer, placing a hand on her cousin's arm. "Then we survived." Margot manages a thin smile. "For now." She drives off, her car disappearing into the mist like a thought half remembered. The sound of the engine fades, leaving the air empty and forgiving. That evening, Clara finds a letter tucked into the lining of her coat. The paper crisp, unfamiliar. She unfolds it. The handwriting is Harold's. "If she found the truth, give her this." Signed by Arthur. She reads it under the porch's last beam of light. "To my granddaughter Claire, if you are reading this, you've done what I couldn't. I thought I was protecting our name. I see now I only built its prison. The dollar was my key to your freedom. You were always my redemption, not my mistake." Clara presses the letter to her chest. The lake catches the last sunlight, gold fading into dusk. "Goodbye, grandfather," she whispers. "And thank you for teaching me what not to become." Night settles again. The camera drifts over the ruins, now calm beneath the stars. The air hums with crickets and the faint whisper of the wind through broken beams. At the lake's edge, the surface lies perfectly still, until one ripple breaks across it, slow and deliberate. Something gleams beneath the water, a folded dollar, glowing faintly in the moonlight, drifting upward. It reaches the surface, catches the starlight, and then dissolves into nothing. Clara's voice, soft and resolute, overlays the image. We inherit more than houses or names. We inherit choices. And sometimes the only way to honor the dead is to stop living their lies. The camera rises, revealing the whole valley bathed in silver light, the lake reflecting the clean, empty sky. Fade to black.